urban artificial intelligence, strategic thinking media platform. Young Thug is free. A lot is going on, man. He tweeting crazy already. Out the jump. We gonna get into that, man. But what I want to talk about specifically, can he rebuild YSL without Gunna? Does he need Gunna to help rebuild YSL? Their relationship looking a little bit rocky, y'all. I'm gonna keep it real, but I think Young Thug is gonna do the correct move. He gonna make the right business decision and continue to work with Gunna. I'm not saying that he need Gunna, but when it comes to music, when it comes to moving units, when it comes to selling albums, Gunna has proven to be a very lucrative artist, and I think he is going to be a big part of Young Thug rebuilding YSL. Now they gonna have to rebuild YSL from the ground up. This is something historically, man. It it does not usually work. I'm gonna just keep it real, and I'm not trying to be a pessimist. I'm just speaking from a fan's point of view. Usually, when police get involved with record labels, when the government get involved with record labels, when the IRS get involved with record labels, the feds get involved with record labels, man, it's usually hard for them to come back from that. We've seen this in the past with Murder Inc. and Rockefeller, just internal issues. And with Rockefeller, it wasn't the police or anything legal, but just the internal issues usually cause the record labels to break apart. Is this gonna be the case with Gunna and Young Thug? Because, like I say, this is what we've seen in the past. It's hard for record labels to withstand RICOs, any type of legal law enforcement issues or any type of tax issues. It's hard for record labels to bounce back from that. Young Thug and Gunna is definitely gonna have to collab with a lot of different artists, man. And that's another question that I wanted to pose, man. Does YSL need a new roster? Do they need a new roster, man? Should Young Thug look for new artists? Do Young Thug need a whole new lineup for YSL? He's not gonna create what he had. All right. So for all the people thinking that it's just gonna be like YSL 2, he's not gonna be able to recreate that, man. He has some extremely talented artists. I was a big fan of Yak Gotti, man. I know not everybody liked him, but to me, he had good music, man. He got some songs that I listen to on a consistent basis, man. Lil Key, R.I.P. to him. So he had a really strong roster, man. And some of these people are gone away. Lil Key passed away. And that's unfortunate because he had a unique group of artists. It's gonna be hard for him to do this again. But do y'all think he need more artists? Do he need to fill up the roster, or could he just do it with him and Gunna? Could him and Gunna hit the studio, hit the booth? Hey, they got a lot to talk about. So content won't be a problem. Can him and Gunna do it theyself? Just them two, just Young Thug and Gunna. Could that be YSL moving forward? Now I'm gonna get into his stipulations a little bit. I'm gonna put them up on the screen. I'm gonna put some things about his stipulations up on the screen. And he specific the Brian Steele, Young Thug's lawyer specifically said he needs to work with Gunna. He said they contractually obligated, which means Gunna is signed to Young Thug. Now, Young Thug isn't contractually obligated to record music with Gunna, but Brian Steele no, Young Thug no, Gunna is a very important piece of YSL.
With any of the co-defendants in this indictment, have no contact with any of the co-defendants in this indictment, with the exception of Mr. Quantavious Greer, that is his biological brother, as well as Mr. Sergio Kitchens. He's a phenomenal artist. He goes performer known as Gunna, Gunna. Mr. Williams and Mr. Kitchens are contractually obligated, and they frequently perform music together.
That's why Gunna's name, Sergio Kitchens, is specifically on the list that Brian Steele basically said, hey, Young Thug gotta make music with this dude. He told the judge how talented, how amazing of an artist Gunna is. Young Thug needs Gunna to a certain extent. With Gunna's name being in the paperwork of artists saying that Young Thug gotta work with, that speaks a lot to the type of music that they make together. But of course, it's gonna be other artists interested in collabing with Young Thug, man. Everybody's gonna want to work with Young Thug. Him going away staying solid, not telling on anybody. All right, that as crazy as it sounds, this is the era that we live in. That's gonna make him more marketable. All right, that's gonna make him more marketable. The streets is gonna fuck with him more. The industry is gonna fuck with him more because industry rappers are gonna respect him more. He's just gonna be in a good position to collab and make money. He's always been a guy who collabs a lot and he worked with a lot of different artists. But he's gonna be in a situation now to, charge for anything that he wants to do. Obviously, he was charging a lot for features before, but the anticipation of a Young Thug interview is going to be, through the roof. People are going to be anticipating. People are going to want to hear him talk. Like I said, we already got some tweets from him, and those have went viral. People are going to want to hear him say how he feels about everything that's been going on. People are going to probably ask him Young Woody questions. People are going to ask him Gunna questions. It's going to be crazy, man. So I feel like he's going to use that. He's going to use that, the anticipation that people have for him to answer questions. He's going to use that to his advantage, and he gonna run it up when he get out. But something else that people are gonna be anticipating too: how is his music gonna sound? Can the music still hit? Now, if Gunna and Thug, let's say Gunna and Thug decide we about to build this shit from the ground up, brick by brick. Niggas tried to take us out. Niggas was telling blase, we back in the booth. Let's build this shit from the ground up. If that was the decision that they made, if they decided to do that, how is the music gonna sound? People want to know. This is what people are talking about on social media. Young Thug is an artist that is closely tied to the streets. He's closely tied to gang violence. It is what it is. This is not a secret. Everybody knows this. The themes of his music are graphic, they violent, and we all know that. Can he make high quality music that people like without the gang themes, without the violent themes? It doesn't seem like he wants to, because he tweeted about making a song about rats. So it seemed like he don't want to move away from that. But can the music still hit? Will the music sound good with a different message? Is it gonna have a different message? Is it gonna have a different vibe? I don't know. We gonna see. But let me ask y'all this, man. Does Young Thug need Gunna to rebuild YSL? This video is not, trying to cause issues between them two. This is just a conversation. I'm just having a conversation, all right? And we're going to get to Urban AI in a minute and ask him a couple of questions. But let me ask y'all this. Does Young Thug need Gunna to rebuild YSL? Does he even need to rebuild YSL? Should he hop back out as just a solo artist? I think that he should keep the name YSL. I also heard some people saying some things about him changing the name and not even being YSL anymore. I don't know. I think if he's able to resurrect YSL, that name is gonna just be, it's already legendary in Atlanta hip hop, but it's gonna be legendary in hip hop if he can resurrect that name, bring it back. And I would honestly like to see him sign artists. I would like to see him sign artists. I know I just said that may not be a good idea. It's gonna be hard for him to replicate what he had, the type of unique artists that he had, the flows and the sounds that these artists had. I don't think you can make that happen twice, but Young Thug is a good curator of talent. He signs a lot of talented people. He still got, Lil got it. He still got Gunna. He still got a couple of people who rock with YSL that he can go in the booth and make bangers with. Urban AI, what is it gonna take for Young Thug and Gunna to rebuild YSL?
For Young Thug to rebuild YSL, he'll need to focus on several key areas: reputation, talent development, financial management, and strategic partnerships. The music scene evolves fast, so identifying fresh, promising artists could reignite YSL's presence. Young Thug has a great eye for talent. He should use it to bring in new, diverse voices that fit the YSL brand but also keep it fresh and relevant. Strictly adhering to the terms of his probation and avoiding any activities that could lead to legal trouble is crucial. This includes staying away from the Atlanta area and refraining from gang-related activities. It's a long road ahead, but with dedication and a focus on positive change, Young Thug has the potential to rebuild YSL in a more constructive and impactful
Okay,
way.
I just wanted to see what Urban AI was gonna say about that, man. This is a complex situation, and this is just a part of me working on the Urban AI, seeing the responses that we get, and making sure it understand the culture. Now, I want to ask this one last question before I dip up out of here, man. How important is it, do y'all think, for Young Thug to get other artists to embrace Gunna, man? Now, we haven't seen a whole lot of features, but people are back working with Gunna. People are back working with Gunna. Big Sean had Gunna on his album. Offset got a couple records with Gunna. You know, more than that, it's multiple other people back working with Gunna. But Lil Baby, Future, that is who, you know, that's where the bread and butter would be with Young Thug. Young Thug, Baby Gunna, Young Thug, Drake, Gunna. They've had classics together, bangers. And I know that's what Young Thug want to happen. He tweeted about it as far as Drake and Future getting back together and being cool again. And him and Metro Boomin and Drake and Future making music again. But what about Gunna? Do these artists need to accept Gunna in order for YSL to be back on top? Does Young Thug need to include Gunna? Go back in the booth. He done made too many bangers with Gunna, man. If they didn't have all these bangers together, I don't know. Maybe if he don't feel like the relationship could be mended, he can move on. But when you done made bangers like him and Gunna done made, you got to give it another shot, man. But I want y'all to get in the comments, let me know, man. Urban Artificial Intelligence, Strategic Thinking Media Platform.